I noticed this all day today. None of the regular supporters were around at all. None of the regular tippers, none of the regular sub gifters, none of the regular super chatters. Literally not one of them was there on stream, either stream. Urban style individual.
What's up with y'all? Hopefully this video finds you in good spirits, and if not, well, at least you're not DSP. And this here is the quiet before the storm. We know the boy didn't hit the support goals, so it's just festering at this point. But he did drop something in this daily rap that I thought was very telling. So let's get into it.
Good evening, everyone. Phil here, and welcome to the Daily Wrap for what was Saturday, the 2nd of August, 2025. A weird streaming day for multiple reasons. It was the beginning of a brand new streaming month for me. It was the first day of a 7-day streak of streaming days for me. It also was abnormal because usually I don't stream on a Saturday, and I get the feeling that some people were not here as a result of that, and more. So let's talk all about it.
Now, we know when Phil says weird, we know exactly what he's talking about. He's talking about he didn't get his money. Now, I'm not going to lie. I was surprised that him being off for 2 days, him coming back, not making the support goals on 2 streams. That took me back a little bit, but I'm going to let him continue.
Today, I returned from 2 days off, an abnormally short week last week, now heading into a normally longer week. And on the podcast today, we talked about quite a few interesting topics, including the fact that I may not do 1 but 2 marathons this month if things go well.
If you give him enough money, you'll have additional opportunities to give him money. It's always funny to me when he presents the marathon as some type of gift or reward. Like, for who? We know what this is about, man. This is a grift. This is your latest tactic. And I mean, let's be real about it. It is working, but that doesn't mean it's any less disgusting.
Also, the fact that we know what the next DSP tries it will be. We talked about the stuff that I did on my days off. We talked about a big update regarding the BioShock gaming franchise. There is some pretty bad news regarding BioShock going on right now. So there was a lot to talk about on today's podcast, and then we did like a half an hour of Q&A. After that, the first game of the week that we jumped into that I was told we were going to finish, but we did not, was Ludo.
Now, you see how he prefaced that? He says what I was told he was going to finish in a couple of hours. Why don't you know? That's the funny thing about this. Why are you relying on other people to tell you the basics of your job? You should have a general idea of how long something is going to take. It's not that deep.
Luto, not Ludo with a D, but I was pronouncing it Luto. And a lot of people are like, oh, why does he say such a hard T? Well, because then people know it's a T and not a D. Anyway,
The valedictorian. It's so funny to me, the things that he decides to put on his thinking cap for. Anytime he's frustrated or upset with a chat or with something somebody's saying, the first thing he goes after is the spelling or the way you say something, as if he does not understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, the people who online say the length of games are always wrong. And this particular game, Luto, everyone says, oh, you could beat it in like 4.5 hours. Yeah, if you know what to do, if you don't actually read any documents, if you don't investigate, and if you don't try to figure out what the heck is going on in the game, you could maybe beat it in 4.5 hours.
So if you play the game the way it's designed to be played, then you'll complete it in the time that is reasonable for a completion. But if your skill set is on par with Darksydephil's, then naturally, yes, you're going to have problems.
But if you're a normal gamer who doesn't rush through content, who tries to enjoy the game, who actually is interested in solving the puzzles rather than looking them all up online, it's longer than that. Okay, so just for the record, for people who are interested in Ludo, I've got 4 parts, but each part is around 1:15 to 1:20 minutes. So already the playthrough is well over 5 hours long and continuing, okay? So I don't really want to spoil, but today I would argue The game got better than the first stream, actually got more interesting with new gameplay mechanics and things going on. There was one part that lasted about 20 minutes that actually really frustrated me. Without spoiling the plot, there's a part that's based all on audio, but unless you're wearing surround sound headphones, you can't hear the audio the game expects you to be able to hear. So essentially, you end up wandering around in a dark room with no idea what you're doing. The game doesn't explain what you're doing. It's insanely frustrating. It's well, let me put it this way. It's well designed if you know what to expect, but they shouldn't have put that part in the game unless they absolutely knew that people were ready for it. Like it should say you have to follow the audio or be sure to have good headphones for this game. Never said that. So because of that, this part of the game is abnormally difficult. You just got to like get lucky, which is really stupid. There's no
You gotta get lucky. Some games use what's known as environmental storytelling, Phil, and they expect you to use your brain to pick up on what you should have to do next. Now, you're not gonna know exactly every little thing, but you should have a general idea. Okay? Every game is not gonna flash text in front of you with yellow arrows telling you exactly what to do. And some people actually enjoy that aspect of games. The discovery, okay. Some people actually like that part of it. I know I do. So when you get on here and complain talking about it's essentially impossible, that's not true. It's just impossible for you.
no way to do it. What if you're deaf? How do you do that part of the game? Guess they didn't think about that, did they? It's kind of fucked up, actually. So
And then he tries to frame them as if they're trying to isolate people or discriminate against people. Look, everything is not for everybody. And that's okay. Everybody can't partake in every little activity. Some people are too short to get on roller coasters. Some people are not old enough to get into the club. That's life. All right. Video game developers trying to make everything for everybody is part of the reason why a lot of games appeal to nobody. Stick to a niche, double down on those niches, and the people who like that stuff will come out in droves. When you make these watered down products to try to appeal to everyone, you appeal to nobody. So, I mean, this is Phil once again just talking out of his ass, trying to create an extreme example to make what he believes is a good point.
I didn't like that part of the game. It was very frustrating. My TV wasn't doing surround sound, so I couldn't figure out what direction I was supposed to be going, and it took way longer than it should have. But outside of that, the game is good, and I'm excited because now some crazy stuff has happened. Some big plot points were revealed, and it looks like when we play it again, we're going to beat it. But there's not enough left of Luto for a stream. So here's what I'm going to do. I've been told basically about 40 minutes left, okay? Later this week, what I will do, likely on, let me think about this, probably like Tuesday night, I will do a night stream of Luto, and here's what it's going to be. Finish the game, and then switch over and just do a Chill with Phil Q&A session for the second half of that late stream. So I will lock this into the schedule soon and let you know exactly when it is, but I'll even tell you, hey, tune in at 7:30 if you want to see the conclusion of Ludo. Come by between like 8:15 if you want to hang out with me for like an hour and a half, and we'll just do a fun Chill with Phil session. Okay?
And what does that consist of? We know what a chill with Phil session is. It's no different than your business meeting, your podcast, or the daily rap, what you're doing right now. It's just an opportunity for you to ask people for money, because the people who actually want to know about your life already know about your life. So what are they really going to ask you in your chill for Phil session, Phil? What you ate for dinner again? How you feel this morning? What show you're watching? Or maybe what's your favorite color? It's such non-tent, man. Even this whole cycle that he has of regurgitating the things that he's already done. Like Phil's content is recapping his own content. Like, Phil, you're not interesting enough to do that. Stop.
How did Ludo do support-wise? We made about $80. So not awfully terrible, but certainly we didn't hit the goal. But this is a unique indie game. I wanted to give it a shot. I am enjoying doing it, something different. So I'm happy that I did, even though basically the game is kind of not having good streams. What can I do? I think that it's still a fun game, and I can't wait to finish it later in the week. What I'm hoping is when we do that late night stream, people will come for the chill session, and that way we'll still get some support, okay?
See, you can tell he's already got it in the pipeline. That's going to be a hardcore begging session right there. I'm telling you right now. And he's going to mention not hitting the goal these 2 times. Phil, you're so predictable, man. Look at his body language. He's so defeated. But once again, this is the business model that we all should be looking to in the hopes of modeling ourselves after Phil. Because according to him, this is what we're jealous of. And he likes to talk about people with 9-to-5 jobs and, people living paycheck to paycheck. And, for the most part, that's a lot of people. But at least people are not living stream to stream, Phil. You live like an addict.
Tonight's late stream was a weird one. Why? Well, tonight was GTA 4 with mods. FYI, we are now approaching the final third of the game. In fact, tonight we far past the halfway point. We did a critical mission, and now we are heading into the final third of the game. Probably like 10 hours left, if that. Now, here's why it was weird. When I started the stream, attendance was low. It did build better over the course of the stream. Kick chat was screwed up all night. People were trying to talk in kick chat, and the thing was not loading. So you would type and it wouldn't show up. If you refresh the page, all of a sudden all the messages would show up, but people had to keep manually clicking to even see chat. So kick chat was all messed up. Tonight with GTA 4, we had great fun. We had good conversation, great progress in the game. Like I said, we're now in the final third of the game. We're about to finish the critical stuff and head to the final third. And the support was abysmal.
Look at his face. Look, every time Phil misses a support goal, an angel gets its wings. You know what I'm trying to tell you? It's a good thing. All that stuff that he was talking prior to saying that support was abysmal was just the preliminaries. For some of y'all who watch ESPN, this is a tactic that Stephen A. Smith also uses. Oh, he's a great father. He's a great entrepreneur, but then he tells you what he actually wants to say. And this is what Phil's doing right now. All that other shit he was talking about, he don't care about that. The fact of the matter is, he did not get his damn money. Phil, when are you going to break this cycle, man? This is not good for you. This cannot be good for your mental health, man.
There's really no other way to put it. We made like $40 all night. So tonight was supposed to be the stream where we determine, is GTA 4 going back to day streams? Remember, it wasn't doing well on a day stream, so I put it on a night stream. Then it did absolutely great. It made like over 170 something bucks last time I played it. So I was like, oh, great. Well, maybe one more stream just to be sure, and then we'll put it back on day streams. And then if it was doing well on day streams, we were going to determine if we were going to do the DLCs, which I
imagine making almost $200 on a game that's, I don't even know how old GTA 4 is, 12, 15 years old. Imagine making almost $200 on a 12-year-old game and complaining about it. And that's just in one stream. That's not counting the other streams before he made his adjustments and all that, right? So it's safe to say that Phil has made at least a couple hundred, maybe even $1,000 on this game already. But here we are. The successful businessman, right?
I would love to do the Lost and Damned and the Ballad of Gay Tony again, because I only played them once ever. But guess what? For whatever reason, almost no support. There were 4 or 5 gifted subs on Kick, and I am appreciative of that. It was 5 different people. But basically, I noticed this all day today. None of the regular supporters were around at all. None of the regular tippers, none of the regular sub gifters, none of the regular super chatters. Literally not one of them was there on stream, either stream.
So what you're admitting here, Phil, is what the detractors have been saying for a very long time, which is there is a handful of people who prop up DSP gaming. You are the star of DSP gaming, but it's executively produced by OIC, Lance Catamaran, or whatever name that entity wants to use at that time. Now, for the longest time, you try to put the narrative out there that you have thousands of people watching you. You even railed against the idea that it was only a handful of people supporting your life. But now here you are admitting it. So what are you going to say next when people say, it's a few dents that sustain you. Are you going to say no now? Because now we can just go to this clip and pull it up like we do with everything that you say, Phil. Everything. And all this stuff is so transparent. Even when they switch names and all that, it's so obvious. It's not fooling anyone. All it's doing is making you feel better for reasons I'll never understand. But at the core of it, it's pathetic.
And I get the feeling that was because I was streaming on a Saturday, which is my normal day off. And I think that people just aren't used to that. And because of that, it really did screw up how my streams normally would go. That if this weren't a Saturday that I was streaming on today, that things might have gone better. But hey, it is what it is. So here's the deal. Moving forward, GTA 4 will not become a day stream again. It will remain as a night stream. We probably have between 8 and 10 hours left to beat it. So probably if you do the math there, if I'm doing night streams and they're 2 hours each and we do 2 a week, we'll probably beat it in 2 to 3 weeks. And that's it for GTA 4. We're done. No DLCs, and it's not going back to the day shift. I tried. I really tried to give the game a shot and give it a chance. Don't ask me why people did not support tonight. I don't know what to say.
Well, you just admitted it. You just said that people who normally support were not there. And then you just said, don't tell me why it wasn't supported. You just said it. Phil, this is why it's important to be concise when you speak, because you start to talk in circles. And this is why people don't really have to do anything to rebuke the things that you say. We just continue to allow you to speak because you end up doing it for us.
Okay? So it will continue. I'm not dropping the game, but it's going to be night streams moving forward. Okay? That simple. Now, here's the thing. First day of the new month, first day of the new week. Bad start. When it comes to support, it's just between the 2 streams, I didn't even hit 1 goal. You realize that, right? That's an awful start. Now, the good
Tell me that you didn't laugh to yourself just a little bit when you heard that. It's hilarious, man. But what's funny about this more than anything is I remember back when the Kino Casino was trying to get him to get rid of Derek, right? And he was really, really dug in on that. And he was saying he don't stalk his viewers. That's the term he used. And what he used to define stalking was you basically just going to somebody's social media. You're right. You being aware of what they're doing when they're not around you, right? But then he goes on this stream to talk about how the people who normally support his streams are not there. He even went into detail and said people who normally tip, people who normally super chat, right? So he's creating distinctions and categories for these individuals. That sounds like stalking to me. And where are the other thousands of people that support you that couldn't get you to your measly $150 goal? We're not talking about $1,000. We're talking about $150. So surely if you have thousands of people watching you, shouldn't be a problem, right? Wrong. We know just like you do. There's a select few people who propped up your entire life. And this was you admitting that. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Urban style content. I'm dead.